What is the best loophole on an exam that you've ever witnessed? My calculus professor was absolutely brutal. Dr. Thompson had a PhD from Stanford and seemed to hate every student who walked into his advanced mathematics class. His exams were legendary disasters. In 3 years, the highest score anyone had ever achieved was 28%. Students literally dropped the class mid-semester just to escape him. Our final exam was worth 70% of the entire grade. The last question alone was worth 40 points. It read, "Solve this differential equation system and find all critical points where the function intersects the complex plane." The equation stretched across 3 full pages, mathematical symbols I'd never seen before, Greek letters mixed with calculus notation that looked like some kind of secret code. Even our textbook didn't cover half of what was written there. Panic spread through the room. One girl put her head down and started crying. Someone behind me was muttering prayers under his breath. Pencils snapped from pressure. People erased and rewrote frantically, using every inch of paper. The room felt like a torture chamber. I stared at the problem for 90 minutes, completely stuck. My entire math career felt like it was about to crash and burn. Then something strange happened. I remembered Dr. Thompson's speech on the first day of class. Mathematics is about recognizing patterns and knowing when problems have elegant solutions versus when they're deliberately insoluble. So I stopped calculating and actually read the problem. Really read it. The differential equation contained terms that canceled each other out. The boundary conditions contradicted one another. The function described values that couldn't exist under standard mathematical rules. It demanded imaginary infinities while also assuming normal, finite behavior. Buried deep in the problem was one small note. Assume all standard mathematical conventions apply. Those conventions meant real numbers, finite solutions, and functions that behaved normally. But this system violated basic calculus principles. It required the function to approach both positive and negative infinity at the same point. The derivative conditions broke fundamental rules. This wasn't difficult, it was impossible. Like asking for a square circle or dividing by 0 and expecting a real answer. So I wrote, "This differential system has no solution. The boundary conditions are contradictory, and the function requires impossible values. Under standard mathematical conventions, this system cannot exist." After 2 hours, I turned in my exam. Everyone else kept calculating. Someone laughed when they saw me leave early. "He's giving up already," I heard. 5 days later, Dr. Thompson walked into class with his usual terrifying expression. 42 of you spent 4 hours trying to solve an equation system that has no mathematical solution. Then he paused. One student recognized that advanced mathematics isn't about endless calculation, it's about critical thinking. He dropped my paper onto his desk. "In graduate research, you will waste months chasing impossible proofs if you can't identify fundamental contradictions." I got a perfect score. The class average was 12%. After class, the girl who had been crying came up to me. "How did you know it was impossible?" she asked. I stopped trying to solve it and started asking whether it could be solved. Dr. Thompson later explained that he'd used this question for years to separate students who could think like mathematicians from those who followed formulas blindly. Real mathematicians spend more time proving things are impossible than solving problems. Every student who got it right did the same thing. They stopped panicking long enough to actually read the question. Sometimes, the smartest thing you can do on a test is prove the question itself is impossible.